Jenny and I, this is Kelly, Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization. We're near Brigham, Utah. We are investigating an area where a couple of grouse hunters had a Bigfoot sighting right here in this area. After we hike in and out of this canyon area where they had their sighting, we get to the car and I check my phone before we leave. We had a message from Matthew Anderson. He had just saw a Bigfoot. An hour had gone by since he had saw 2 Bigfoot up Dry Bread Hollow in the Monte Cristo area. We take you guys into that area often because of the plentiful Bigfoot sightings in the area. We keep a close eye on it. This is about 60 miles from where we are now. We head directly to the new Bigfoot sighting that just happened to investigate. The seasonal gate is closed in this area. He was back there on his side-by-side. He meets us at the gate and takes us back in.
Wow.
Grab my mace. I know. Hey, it's the confidence thing, all right?
That might deter more than a pistol would. Who knows?
Well, they have to be right up in your face for you to be able to hit them with this too. So you shoot them, and if they make it to us all.
If they cross the road, then there should be tracks.
So you saw them up in there, huh?
When I was coming down, I was just kind of, walking and looking, and I thought I seen something move, and I stopped. Yeah, so you can see where I stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I backed up here, got out, and I was looking, and I thought I was kind of standing on the side. Then I seen something else move, and I started walking up in there. And yeah, I don't think I made it very far even in there.
So you saw something up in there that got your attention.
Mm-hmm. So I started looking. You can kind of see that like it's a dead tree, and it's got that little white knot on it almost.
I noticed it right away.
Yeah. So it was right around there in that spot, and I got up to about where that tree is right there when I was in there. And that's about where they were. And I didn't see it because I was kind of on this side of the tree, and then I moved over to the left of this where you can kind of see where my track. Like I couldn't see him until like I kind of took a step out off to the left, and then the first one was just standing there. Kind of, it was really weird, like a reflective light almost. Kind of when I moved, he was just there. And then when I was talking to you on the phone, it was scowling. That's the word I was looking for.
It had a scowl on its face.
And so when he was scowling and kind of looking, and it was probably about 5 seconds, and then he kind of like huffed, and you can see all the cold coming out of his nose. And that's when I drew. And I didn't even draw up and point out, I just kind of drew up, and the other one stepped out in front of him. Kind of like, almost like in a protective manner.
And it realized you were doing an aggressive maneuver.
Yeah, and then as I got back in, I realized I probably shouldn't have drawn, and so when he came.
Well, I understand completely why you did. Yeah.
So then they wasn't even making it an aggressive. So the younger one had the scowl, but the older one wasn't scowling. Like he just kind of stepped like almost a matter of fact. And
so it was the older one that stepped in front of the younger one?
Yeah. And I mean, it was 16 years ago, but from what I seen, it really looked like the one that I seen 16 years ago. And what is that? As the crow flies, 20 miles maybe?
Or less.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where I
yeah.
seen it
Oh, if you
before.
can go straight over the mountain,
Yeah.
yeah, it's less than 20 miles.
Yeah.
He may be the alpha in the area.
And so that's like when he stepped out, like we looked like made eye contact. And that's, I didn't holster. I walked backwards back down. When I got back down here is when I reholstered, jumped in, and took off back down the road.
And how tall were they?
About 8.5.
And the color?
So the younger one was like a dark black, like a full black almost. And then the older one was black, but he was graying. You can tell he's getting old, and was kind of like a receding hairline, like a widow's peak almost. And he didn't have like a goatee, but his bottom chin was gray, like it was really thick gray. Like there wasn't very much black, but the rest of him was like almost salt and pepper.
Yeah.
And like he just looked like there was, like he wasn't scowling or anything. It was just almost a blank stare.
Uh-huh.
It was just looking at me, and I back down, jumped in, and took off.
Was the older one the taller one?
Yeah.
So he was the probably 8.5 feet, and then and then the other one
Probably, I'd say 8 foot, 3 inch, 8 foot.
just a couple inches
Yeah,
smaller.
just wasn't very much shorter.
What about body mass? Were their
Body
body mass
mass?
is similar? Or?
They were similar, but the younger one looked healthier in body mass size. Like you could tell he was stronger.
Like me and you.
My chest is dropped and you're holding up.
Yeah.
You're younger than I am.
But I mean, so if you think about it, do you know who Brian Shaw is? The world strongman?
Yes.
Body shape like that, but bigger.
Oh.
So, like they're like the body like that. Like I've everybody's like, oh, he has muscle. You can see his muscles. You can tell he's big and he was strong, but nothing was defined.
And we're talking about the older one.
Yeah. So he was just thick all the way through. Shoulder width, it wasn't equal. It was wider than the waist, but the waist wasn't tapered. He was still thick in the waist and just massive. Like probably I'd say 4 foot across the chest. They were big. The other one was about the same size, but you could tell he was just a little more healthier.
So should we go up and take a look for footprints?
It would have to be like you saw it 16 years ago, so they're back.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever leave. People are always reporting them up here. We're gonna go up and see if we can find anything. Yeah, Jenny and I didn't run home and grab the proper stuff. We just come straight here.
We were in Perry, walking up this little slot canyon.
By like the Perry pit or whatever.
A couple of grouse hunters up in Perry Canyon had a encounter, a pretty scary one. Oh my gosh, look at this damage, looks recent. Huh.
Yeah, I took a knee right here when I first got it.
That's the furthest you made it in.
Yeah.
I could very well still be here. That tree that's broke off, is that where we're headed?
No, that tree right there with a knot. Look down.
This one that has like the burl starting on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they go through the snow where they have to, but they will jump from log to log if they can. We've tracked them where the tracks just stop for no rhyme or reason, and we don't know, especially when it's in a situation like snow or soft ground and the tracks just stop. The Minnesota trackway, they tracked them for about 3 miles. in snow. And every opportunity they had, they shimmied along logs, stones, dry ground. You could tell they cognizantly try not to leave tracks. They tracked them for 3 miles, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. And there's snow all around. So you're like, they tried picking up the tracks again and couldn't. I heard something moving through the trees over there. I see some large tracks over here I want to check out. Oh. My foot next to this one, my boot's about 12 inches long. This one's a couple inches longer and a couple inches wider. Jenny took off by herself. Find anything, Jenny? Find anything? I'm finding tracks over here too. Look to me like Bigfoot shaped, and those ones look like they could be 15, 16 inches long. Where you at, Jen? Jen? Did you find Bigfoot shaped track?
How'd you run a survival trip there?
We found tracks on his deal and heard some vocalizations that night after he played his harmonica.
Where was that at?
South side of the Uintas in Sasquatch Canyon.
Oh wow.
I took him where I get all the activity, or we find the activity. Within a few minutes of him being done playing his harmonica, something come close to camp and vocalized. On our hike in to base camp, he found a really nice Bigfoot track that he wanted to cast, and I told him we only had one casting kit on it, and I'm like, well, let's just go set up our base camp and see if we find something better, and if we don't, we'll come back and cast it in the morning. It's like, okay, well, we didn't find anything better. We get up the next morning and there's like 4 inches of snow.
Shit.
So we missed our opportunity to cast the track. We didn't know it was going to snow that night. I didn't sleep very well that night though. It was cold as hell. Yeah, we backpack camped.
Backpack in, yeah.
I found Bigfoot shaped tracks.
That's why I came out of the trees, is I could see them going up but I couldn't see where they went, and they went.
That looks bipedal, and this one right here looks measurable. I want to measure this one.
Oh, spacing out.
16. Hit the hill, it's close to 6. Up near the toes, it's 8. That fits.
Well, it comes up the side of the mountain, right over there.
These are definitely Bigfoot shaped. We come up closer.
Yeah.
16 again. Almost 6, about 5 and yeah, just like the last one. Up near the toe area, 8. And let's see the.
That is true.
What?
I didn't really think about that. I mean, it looks small to me, but then when you're doing it, it doesn't look doable. Well, it's not doable for me.
Yeah.
The stride, hill to hill, is 35 inches.
Okay. Well, it heads up there.
So over 3 feet. It's going through some thick stuff.
You want your stick?
Do they keep going? Or did they come out of there?
They're heading that direction.
Okay. When I was coming through the trees over there, I was clear up to my thighs in some places. You can see where they cross the road and then head out into the other direction too. Little kitty print.
Some more bobcat tracks.
Snow, they still had snow. About that big mountain lion track. Just one right in the snowbank, and then they went off the other direction.
That's one of the bucket item lists I still haven't got up there on game camera is mountain lion. I get them on the south side of the Uintas constantly.
Yeah.
I've gotten bobcats, coyotes, shitload of moose and elk. So you were taking this to where you found them?
Yeah, I got this one.
Have you seen something shiny? Okay, this is Bobo's Bigfoot Highway. These power line easements, and Jenny found the trackway coming through them.
Yeah, they came out of the trees over there. Electrical poles, you can see that they continue under there. But we saw them coming out through.
I should have worn my sunglasses. I'm gonna get snowblind.
Okay, you can see my footprint. See how they came out of the...
Yeah, yeah, I see the. You were following this trackway. Look how little your feet are compared to what I was measuring.
Yeah,
Your feet are like half the length, half the width.
that's where we were.
Yeah.
They came out through here. And then a lot of them have melted.
Yeah, they're in direct sunlight.
See how they're melted?
Yeah.
Okay. But then they're deep again right here. So I don't know how that
And the
happened.
ones we were measuring were in the shade of the trees. Yeah, they're getting the wind and the sun right here.
You can see them in the sunlight. In this direction a lot better.
I see them pretty well now. I see them pretty well
Oh
now.
yeah, so you can see where I came out of the trees over there.
Out here in the direct sun, look how fast the sun and the wind takes care of them.
They go down to the road. Pretty easy.
I don't know why anybody be up there walking
I don't either. That's why I was like, what are those?
The reason we are here is for a sighting.
If you want to go hiking, you go somewhere else. This isn't a jolly hike.
At least a month for many of
The gate's closed and you need like a side-by-side to get here unless you like walking 10, 15 miles in a day.
Oh, these bigger ones.
Look, an animal crossed and looked at peed right on these tracks.
It peed.
What kind are these?
I don't know.
In the direct sun, it just
I think those are
it takes
moose.
care of them fast.
Are you sure those aren't
These
moose?
aren't moose.
They're not moose.
Oh hell no, these ain't moose.
That might be there.
Is it a bunny?
No, that is, yeah, that's a bunny there. That's a bunny.
Oh,
This
so that's
isn't-
a bunny.
This might be a bobcat.
They're melted. I can't tell what they are. But these ones,
These ones are These ones are the Bigfoot shaped ones. Here, I want to measure this one. This one's looks pretty good. Let's measure that one real quick. This one's...
Oh, a little kid could fit in that one.
It shows 17, but it's maybe because it melted out a little bit. By over 8 there at the hill, 6. But where we were seeing it, where it was really crisp and defined, was 16.
I was hoping that... Oh, there they... See, I thought that they crossed right here, but they don't. They go over here. This is definitely not what I saw from up there. Oh, I stepped in it. Whoops.
Thank you. That's a trip.
Well, you can see from up there, you could see them right over there.
You do see the tracks over here then? Well, I see some big ones right here. These are older ones though. They've been windswept and filled with snow.
You can see them go right between those two phone poles and down.
Oh, you see them clear down there?
Yeah, clear down there.
Okay, I see them now. Yeah, they come right through here. You can see where the wind's really whipped right here, and then it really got the brunt of the sun today. So something followed Bobo's Bigfoot highway right up there, crossed, and Jenny tracked to where it went into the trees, and in the trees where it's in the shade we got some really good definitive shapes.
Underneath those poles, are they coming out?
Here, you do it with the camera, zoom in and...
All right then, here you go. There they are.
That's the tracks you saw from up above.
See them? Ah, dang. When they're zoomed in.
It's hard to keep it stable.
Yeah, but you can see them.
I've got a stabilizer program at home. We can put it through.
Okay, they come. Darn it. I'm trying to hold my breath and everything. I'll get closer. Hold on. But
I don't think we're going to find anything better than what we found in the trees where the trackway went. This has all got exposed to the sun. Could have made this stuff yesterday, and with some wind and some sun, it destroys them fast.
Found another track. Let's see. Oh, that's quite a leap off the road. Good 6 feet. That's right. Across the fence into the no trespassing.
Going around, and especially right here, I slowed down quite a bit because of the snow. And I was kind of just looking up, looking around, and then seeing something move. And at first I thought it was a black bear because the color, and I wasn't thinking of Sasquatch at the time. So it moved, and it was like, it was up, bipedal. So I hit the brakes, backed up, and was walking in there, and that's when we made contact.
But we didn't see any bear. The only thing that we saw is bobcat, elk, and then some Bigfoot shaped tracks. They've taken a little bit of sun damage, a little bit of wind damage, but we have found Bigfoot shaped tracks in the area. And they were really nice once you get into this tree line right here. Nice enough we could measure the dimensions. And then in the direction that you saw it, a little bit further back by those logs, picked up some that were Bigfoot shaped. What do you see? Some Bigfoot shaped tracks here?
Look at the...
You can see where it drug its feet on top of the snow. It looks to me actually it was heading that direction. Looks like it stepped up there, swept the snow. So if that was its left foot, that's its right. Stepped from there with the left, swept right there, stepped. And these have filled in a little bit with wind and taken some sun damage. But it goes off into the trees. We're seeing sign in the area.
I hope you enjoyed a witness interview at the location of a recent Bigfoot sighting. We did find 2 sets of Bigfoot tracks in the direction he saw the 2 Bigfoot. We also found other trackways, some newer, some older, shows that this area has been active with Bigfoot for a few days. We may have driven them off in there searching for them. However, this entire area is a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. Many Bigfoot sightings in this area. Will continue to watch this area. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.